You are now listening to Cryptid Cocktail Party. Creatures, let's meet for a drink. It's a treat. Join us. Join us in the fight. Cryptid Cocktail Party. Cryptid Cocktail Party.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Cryptic Cocktail Party, a show where we have a few drinks, share a few laughs, take a dive into the unknown. I'm your host, Dave, joined as always by my wonderful co-host, Sarge. How's it going, Sarge?
Hey. What's going on?
Nothing. Are you talking to me or the audience?
Everyone all at once. I hope you all enjoyed the little photo spread that Dave put up. Somebody asked for that to be a calendar, and I think that might be the worst year of your life.
No, I think that's actually a pretty good idea, I think. I actually thoroughly enjoyed that idea, and I think we should move forward with it.
The many seasons of Sarge.
Well, I felt like you need a little appreciation for you.
And I appreciate you for appreciating me.
Yeah.
That was unexpected and heartwarming. And to all of my new followers, I'm not sexually interested in you.
But they are in you. So that's really,
I look like a hoe, but I'm a well-behaved man.
Yeah.
No, just when I drink, I'm not. But I'm not
Okay.
a hoe.
All right. No one's accusing you of this. This is coming very projection-y, and I don't.
Well, you did show me in my sassy little outfit there with the pineapples and the palm trees.
Yeah. And but you also had the cowboy hat one. That was pretty good.
The cowboy hat one was great.
Do you think the pineapple one is the most spicy one? I feel like the one of you cooking where you're.
Well, I think it's because I'm squatting. Oh yeah, there is the one where I'm showing off my biceps.
Yeah.
While cooking. That's terrifying.
Yeah. As someone said, I think your cast iron is properly seasoned.
We have the best fans. We really do.
Oh, so fucking
I was fully waiting to be roasted mercilessly.
No.
And it wasn't merciless at all. So thank you.
Everyone was very kind. Again, it was a Sarge appreciation post because we all appreciate you, Sarge.
Well, I appreciate you guys. I really do.
Yeah. And plus, if it wasn't for that post, we never would have made it onto the page of the Satanic Temple, which was pretty cool.
Which makes my day. You have no idea.
Yeah. All hail Sarge.
I go there all the time. My daughter finally thinks I did something cool.
It was
that's
cool.
a win.
Yeah. That was a cool notification to get to see that.
Yeah.
What I love about it too is that I know it's like this. Now this is nothing, but like they didn't ask permission. They just screen capped the photo and then just posted it on there. Like they didn't add. Like, what if you didn't want it there?
It's fine. It's fine. I'm fine with it.
I mean, I guess it's a public post.
Right.
Anyone can see it. It's not like I like hid it behind a paywall or anything. But yeah, they're just like, hey. Here's your phone.
I mean, the kinds of people who would be offended by that are the kinds of people I don't want following me anyway. So
yeah. But
no harm, no foul.
It was cool. That was a cool notification to get. Yeah. All right, Sarge. So you ready to dive into part 2 of Eastern State
God, I'm so
Penitentiary?
ready.
All right.
I'm so ready.
So I tried to like find like, I know it's out there. I've seen it. I've heard them. I tried to find like EVPs or like ghost voices caught on tape. But for some reason, when I went to go try and find it this time around, all my searches came back with like EVPs, but it was all like ghost hunters and ghost adventures. Or if I found one, they put music over it, which is fucking wild. Like why
would you put music over it?
Because they're not confident, Stars. They're not confident in their evidence. So they tried to hide it behind.
They lied to us.
But yeah, it was all just like I saw. We're not going to put any evidence in this video or this episode because it was a pain in the head. I just didn't want to do it.
Yeah. Nobody wants to hear Zach Baggins describe how he feels about the evidence, which is every goddamn episode.
And all like the amateur ghost hunting, like ones that I found, the exposition before they actually even played the EVP, it took me out of it. I was like, I don't care anymore. It's like, it's like a 10-minute long video for like a split second of what may or may not be just someone's jacket rubbing against their arm.
It's so frustrating.
Yeah.
And like, I get it. You know, you got to play the video. You got to have a certain length video in order to be accepted by the algorithm, but go fuck yourself.
Yeah. I don't know.
Pull your thumb out of your ass, you dicks.
All right. So last week, Sarge, we covered the history of Eastern State Penitentiary from its conception all the way up to its closure in 1970 or 1971, if you count that brief time that it was like used as
reopened as a county jail, right?
Yeah. But something you and the listeners may have noticed in part one as well is that while Eastern State Penitentiary, like, well, it was controversial for a lot of things, mostly the whole indefinite solitary confinement and psychological torture leading to full-on
mildly
mental
problematic.
breakdowns. Yeah, one thing it wasn't known for during its time of operation was ghosts. So back then, there really aren't that many documented reports of hauntings or like paranormal activity while it was an active prison. There is one, which we'll get to, and it's pretty funny. But to be fair, it was probably hard to tell if it was haunted, considering it probably already sounded like a haunted house, what with all the screaming going on from the mental breaks.
Also, if you're suffering from visual and auditory hallucinations due to long periods of solitary confinement, it's probably kind of hard to figure out what's a ghost and what isn't.
Exactly. But sometime between when the prison finally closed and current day world, I'm not going to say what day it is today to keep this episode evergreen.
Then I won't mention Iran at all.
Well, no, that's probably still going to be a problem 20 years from now if this plays out anything.
As an Iraq war veteran, you're absolutely right.
Yeah. But sometime between then and now, Eastern State has developed quite the reputation as one of the most haunted locations in all of America. Ghost hunters investigate it. Paranormal shows filmed there, or I should say filmed there. Visitors report hearing voices, seeing shadows, moving from like cell block to cell block. There's also reports of people being touched, and just like that overall vibe that someone or something is watching you from just beyond the shadows. What's crazy though is that the organization that runs Eastern State today does not officially claim that the prison is haunted, and they're pretty firm on that. They actually banned paranormal investigations in 2019. Like,
oh, come on.
And that's like not just like amateur people. That's like no one can investigate.
That's no fun. Like, what the fuck is the point of owning like an old ass prison if you're not going to let people walk around with EVPs shouting at ghosts?
Well, it's because, one of the reasons was because of the decorum of some of the paranormal investigators. But another reason
that doesn't surprise me.
Another reason why, and I get it, is because like it's a museum, and the museum is like, their mission is for like prison reform. They don't want a bunch of fucking Zach Baggins there in tap out shirts trying to fight ghosts. Well, that's not their mission, I guess. But at the same time, they do kind of lean into it because, money. And but I don't mean that like in a disparaging way. Like, I get it. I'm sure it costs a shit ton of money to keep that place from like just imploding in on itself.
Absolutely. Like, you've got all like miles of pipe in that building, probably full of water in Pennsylvania. You have to keep it heated year round. That makes sense. I get it. I
would do the same thing. Like for instance, like every year around Halloween, they host Terror Behind the Walls, which is just like a massive haunted house. And
see, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And the official audio tour, which again is narrated by Steve Buscemi. So good. It even includes an entire section asking the question, is Eastern State Penitentiary haunted? And the answer is basically, I don't know. But then it proceeds to walk visitors through some of the more like famous like stories and experiences people have had inside the prison. So I guess the question is, if there wasn't any paranormal activity when it was operational, the organization that runs the prison doesn't acknowledge it's haunted, and Steve Buscemi has no fucking clue, then how did he get the reputation as like a paranormal hotspot? Well, part of that answer has to do with what happened after the prison closed. When Eastern State shut down for good, it wasn't immediately turned into like a museum. It was just straight up abandoned.
Okay.
And abandoned prisons, like any good abandoned building, the vibes become kind of unsettling. Over the decades, the place slowly started decaying. Roofs started collapsing. Paint was peeling off the walls. It was just deteriorating from the inside out. And it's basically just an abandoned ruin in the middle of Center City, Philadelphia, which is
just kind of awesome,
crazy,
honestly.
Yeah. Eventually, though, preservation efforts began, and they started doing limited hard hat tours, which sounds fucking terrifying. I would never tour somewhere where they're like, "You're gonna need a hard hat."
Yeah.
In case something falls and just fucking accordions your spine real quick. Those began in 1988, and they started doing like the Halloween fundraisers, like the precursor to Terror Behind the Walls, in 1991. So it was it wasn't too long after the prison closed, but like
that would probably have been a great time to go too, because it's like very rough and they're not ready. So it probably looks real bad in like 1992. You know what I mean?
Well, this actually segues right into what I was about to say next. Instead of restoring the prison into something close to what it would have looked like while operational, they intentionally preserved it in its crumbling state. So what it looked like then is what it looks like now. It's like a creepy place, and just the atmosphere alone is enough to make you feel easy. Not me, though.
Interesting choice.
Yeah, not me, though. I wasn't scared when I was there at all. I was super tough, and it was really fun. And
well, you're a braver man than I am, because I spent a little time in an abandoned prison and nearly shit myself.
I went during the day where there was a million people there. In the summertime,
Okay.
I was. I will say this: surprisingly drippy. It was kind of like it was like kind of like the inside of the ship from Aliens. Like it was just wet with chains everywhere.
It's always wet.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about.
Do we want to know? We don't want to know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember what I was saying. Oh, it's a creepy place, and the atmosphere alone is enough to make you feel uneasy. Well, with all the water and all. And it's around this time that the ghost stories really started to kind of take hold. Visitors reported hearing voices, seeing shadows. Some people started claiming that certain parts of the prison made them feel sick or dizzy, or like they were being watched. At first, these were just like anecdotes from people who were visitors.
Right.
But after a while, these anecdotes started to cluster in specific locations. And once those stories started repeating themselves, that's when its haunted reputation really kind of took hold. So I figured what we do today is basically give you guys a little haunted ghost tour of Eastern State Penitentiary, starting with one of the most famous stories connected to the prison. This begins the way most good paranormal stories begin, with maintenance work. Just...
You know what, Dave? You're taking me out of it because you're not doing a Steve Buscemi accent. So
I wouldn't even know how to. If
I wouldn't either.
Yeah,
I wouldn't either.
Does he have an accent? He has a pretty normal voice, doesn't he?
No, I think he kind of talks like this.
Sure. I mean, he's kind of New York-y, I think, a little bit, right?
Hey, fellow kids.
That's actually pretty good. That's not bad.
Thanks. I won't do any more because I'll fuck it up.
So in the early 90s, restoration crews started working inside the prison as part of the whole preservation effort. One of the people working there was a locksmith named Gary Johnson, who had been tasked with removing some of the old locks from the old cell doors. And these weren't your normal door locks. These are massive iron prison locks that had been sitting in those doors for well over 100 years and probably hadn't even been touched in at least 50.
Yeah, and it probably had comically large keys.
Yeah, so
keys the length of a toddler.
So Johnson heads into cell block 4 and gets to work on one of the old locks, trying to get it loose from the cell door, and eventually the lock gives way. But as soon as it does, something in the air changed. Johnson claimed he felt a sudden surge of negative energy move through the corridor. Not just an uneasy feeling, but something a bit stronger. He said it was he felt a force grabbed him and held him in place he couldn't move. Then he started seeing distorted, tormented faces with twisted expressions pressed into the stone walls of the cell block, like the walls themselves were full of people trying to get out. Then, according to Johnson, one of those figures pulled itself forward from the wall and began reaching towards him. And at this point, Johnson did what I think any reasonable person would do in this situation and got the fuck out of there as fast as he could.
I would have quit immediately. I would have done the same thing. I would have been like, hey, you know what? Keep the money and my tools and the poop I left in there. I don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah. And Johnson's story was it's easily become one of the most repeated ghost stories associated with the Eastern State, probably because it's a nightmare and I hate it.
Yeah.
It became so popular that the story made its way into the prison's official audio tour, again, narrated by award-winning actor Steve Buscemi. And his story isn't the only strange shit happening in cell block 4. Visitors report sudden waves of dizziness there. Others claim that certain areas of the block feel unusually heavy or oppressive, which makes sense. So yeah, cell block 4 sucks. Yeah.
I don't like it.
It's not a great story, but it actually isn't the part of the prison that comes up the most when talking about the paranormal. That distinction belongs to cell block 12. Over the years, this block has developed kind of a pretty shitty reputation as one of the most active areas inside of Eastern State. Visitors, staff, investigators, they've all reported experiences there. Voices echoing through the corridor, strange laughter coming from empty cells, and shadow figures moving around the block. One of the most common reports in cell block 12 involves the upper catwalk that runs along the second level. It's like just like a metal catwalk. People standing on the ground floor report to hear like what sound like heavy boots walking slowly along the catwalk, like a thud, 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 and then it just stops. And then you look up, there's no one there, which isn't great.
It's actually Steve Buscemi wearing giant boots. Hey, fellow ghosts.
This is also the spot where ghost hunters caught what is easily the best piece of paranormal evidence I think I've ever seen. I obviously can't show you guys because this is an audio medium, but basically it shows a figure on the catwalk coming towards the camera and then immediately darting back in the other direction. If you haven't seen it, I'll post the clip up on Instagram and you guys can let me know what you think because it's fucking wild. Haters will say it's fake and people can debate about whether it's actually paranormal or just some sort of like camera artifact glitch. It doesn't matter. I like it. So
yeah,
that's all that matters. So whatever.
If it scares you, then it doesn't matter if it's fake, honestly.
Yeah. Anyways, cell block 12, spooky as hell. But it isn't the only part of the prison where people claim to see movement in the form of shadows. And that brings us to the next stop on our little paranormal tour, cell block 6. So cell block 6 isn't all that spooky, but it's worth mentioning because it gets brought up a lot because just the sheer number of shadow figures people have reported seeing there.
Also, just how intimidating the term cell block 6 sounds.
Yeah, so I think it's the 3S sounds, like the cell block 6. It's pretty good.
It sounds like you're scared to go there and you're scared to say it 5 times fast.
So visitors walking through here report seeing dark shapes moving along the walls of the corridor or slipping into cells. Not like full body apparitions, just like silhouettes and shapes and shit. Usually it's a sighting that lasts a second or two. Pretty much someone notices some movement out of the corner of their eye. They turn to look at it directly and whatever it was is gone. Some people claim they had seen dark figures standing briefly in the doorways of empty cells. Some say they've seen them moving across the hallway. Nothing too wild, like I said, but these reports are the reason why cell block 6 has the reputation it does. But sightings and spooky happenings aren't just contained to the cell blocks, okay? Now, some of the more wild stories actually come from outside the blocks, which brings us to our next stop, the guard towers. But before we get there, Sarge, how you feeling so far?
No, sir. I don't like it. I mean, here's the thing. I do like it, and I want to go, and I want to see these ghosts. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, like prison ghosts, I feel like they're a little scarier.
They're a different breed.
You don't know why that ghost is in there.
That's true.
Is he going to try to shank you or is he going to tickle your butthole? You don't know until it happens.
This is true. Shank on both accounts. But yeah, cell block 6, I mean, shadow figures, whatever, dude. If it's not choking me out, I don't care. That doesn't,
yeah. It's not a poltergeist, Yeah.
I mean, I found like some accounts of people saying they were attacked there, but they were just Reddit stories, and I didn't want to include.
I wouldn't trust a Reddit story.
Yeah. So, I mean, as far as I know, there's not like a lot of violent shit happening.
The only one that really is scary is kind of the guy who's stuck in the cell for a minute. That sucks ass. I would hate it.
Yeah. That wasn't a good one.
Like I'm already scared of prison. Like I never want to do anything that would put me in jail because I could not deal with the confinement.
I think you do great.
But then to be trapped in there by a fucking wraith? Are you kidding me? Spooky ass motherfucker. Keep you jail.
That's so the locksmith story reminds me. There's a story that takes place on Mount Washington that was somewhat similar to that. It is kind of crazy. Yeah. It was like something in the clouds. It was like a cabin up there, like a hiker's cabin.
Okay.
Some guy got trapped in there, and kind of the same thing happened. Not great. I'll send you the story. Don't worry.
That would be a good place to put a prison, though. On the top of Mount Washington, you're not getting out of that place.
Well, I mean, isn't that what the research station already is? It's pretty much prison. You're kind of just stuck there.
You're going to get hypothermia whether you want it or not.
Yeah. All right. So now we're at the guard towers. So over the years, there have been repeated reports of people seeing a figure standing in the guard towers, just a silhouette of someone standing in the window. Nothing crazy. Sometimes a visitor walking around the prison will glance up and see what looks like a person watching from the tower. And when they point it out to someone else and then like look back, the figure is gone. Just your standard ghost shit. But one of the more unsettling stories connected to the tower involves not shadowy figures, but voices. According to Philadelphia author Charles Adams, while he was visiting Eastern State, he and a small group were near one of the towers when they heard what sounded like people talking above them, kind of like two people having a quiet conversation somewhere overhead. So they all assumed there were just people above them, maybe staff or like another tour group. But when they went to check, it was empty, nobody inside, and whatever voices they were hearing had completely stopped. Now, the story doesn't seem like much, but I like it because unlike the cell blocks where like echoes and footsteps travel pretty far and loud through the corridors, the towers are small, very enclosed spaces. So if someone is inside them chatting it up, you know.
Yeah.
So the fact that no one was there is kind of fucking terrifying.
And hearing a ghost voice is already unsettling, but then you hear one with a Philadelphia accent.
Talk about Wooter.
Yeah, like how do you talk like that? It doesn't sound right.
I don't know. I don't talk like that. I'm from New Hampshire.
No,
so.
you don't. You're from up here.
Yeah, I'm from a real place. Not this fucking made up La La Land.
But you have to admit the accent is slightly unsettling. And I'm coming from a place with a terribly ugly accent.
I feel like the Delco accent and the Boston accent aren't too far apart.
I feel like there's more R's involved.
Maybe. They're like cousins.
Yeah. Kissing cousins.
Sure. All right. So moving on.
And if you've been to rural Pennsylvania, you'll know how true that is.
Yeah. All right. So moving on, let's talk Capone. As I'm sure you remember from part one, Al Capone was one of the most famous inmates at Eastern State after he was picked up on a weapons charge. He wasn't there very long. Like I said last episode, he was sentenced to a year, but only ended up serving about 9 months. But his time there produced one of the weirdest stories connected to the prison. According to stories that circulated among inmates, even though Capone had basically all the amenities of a 5-star hotel in his cell, he apparently wasn't sleeping too well during his stay at Eastern State because legend has it is that Capone was being haunted.
Could have been a ghost. Could have been the raging syphilis. Nobody knows.
We're actually going to get to that.
God.
More specifically,
Yes.
He believed he was being haunted by the ghost of a man named Jimmy. Now, depending on which version of the story you hear, Jimmy was a victim of the St. Valentine's Day massacre. Which was a gangland shooting that left 7 members of a rival gang dead in Chicago on Valentine's Day. I'm sure you're familiar with it.
Yes.
Yeah. According to legend, Capone would wake up in the middle of the night just screaming, "Jimmy, leave me alone," over and over again. Now, whether this story is true or it's just something that grew over time, who knows? And if it is true, was it actually paranormal? Again, who knows? Capone was dealing with untreated syphilis at the time. So he was probably already half insane.
Yeah, right.
When he was in there. Because apparently complications due to untreated syphilis isn't great. It'll fucking just rot your brain, which apparently
it ruins your brain
Yeah.
and parts of you fall off sometimes.
Yeah. Now, of course, not everyone is convinced that Eastern State is teeming with spooky specters. So before we dive into like the skeptics argument, how are we feeling? What do you got? Any questions, concerns?
Nope. I love it. I especially love Al Capone being haunted. A little uneasy with the idea there being ghosts in the guardhouse, because the only thing worse than a ghost is a ghost with a gun.
I don't think a ghost gun would do anything to you.
We don't know.
This is true. I've never been shot by a spectral bullet, so.
I mean, maybe thoughts and prayers would actually have an effect on a ghost gun, though. So maybe that's why nobody's been shot. That's where all the prayers go.
The only time that thoughts and prayers have ever been.
Not effective against real bullets, but you got some ectoplasm bullets, 100% effective.
Oh, that makes total sense.
Right.
All right. I think we figured it out.
We solved it.
But not everyone is convinced that this place is haunted. Both researchers and historians argue that a lot of the strange shit people report could actually be explained away by the building itself, and it kind of makes sense.
Right.
The prison is built out of massive stone walls, long corridors, and high vaulted ceilings. They pretty much create like a wild acoustic environment where sound can behave pretty unpredictably.
Yeah.
Voices can travel down the cell blocks and bounce off the stone surfaces. So someone talking quietly in one part of the prison can echo down another corridor and sound like it's coming from somewhere completely different or even right next to you. It's kind of insane.
Yeah.
Footsteps are another big one, like those metal catwalks that run along the upper tiers.
It just echoes for days because it's metal.
Yeah, it carries sound across long distances, making it sound as though they're right there above you, even if there isn't anyone.
And it's not like people were wearing sneakers back then. Everybody's wearing old clacky shoes.
Yeah, but even now, like you can just...
But I'm saying, like walking on a catwalk in old timey shoes.
You say clacky shoes?
Yeah, the ones that go clack, clack, clack when you walk around.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter on metal. It's all going to sound the same.
I don't know. Rubber shoes probably don't sound as loud. The acoustic value. Well, let's do some testing and we'll get back to you.
All right. Wind also plays a huge factor. Eastern State is preserved as a quote unquote stabilized ruin, which means parts of it are just exposed. Like, and it's true. There are parts where just shit's missing. Air is constantly moving through broken windows, gaps in the stonework, whatever. And the result is a place that is constantly producing strange sounds. It sounds like a haunted house, whether it means to or not.
Yeah. Fun fact, stabilized ruin is also how we refer to all of Western Massachusetts. If you don't own a property with a derelict barn that has a tree growing out of it, you are not considered a landowner.
That's fair. And with this wind, like the airflow, it can slam old doors, rattle metal bars, or create low, hollow noises that travel all throughout the prison. And again, it's just dripping all the time. There's just water constantly.
I don't know where it comes from.
Yeah, again,
the prison that I stayed in up here for that army thing, same thing. It was just constant water dropping everywhere, and nobody could find where the water was falling from or the puddles that were supposed to be accumulating underneath it.
Yeah, most old prisons are basically like the Nostromo from Aliens. Again, it's just wet all the time. No one knows where it's coming from.
Except instead of like the alien, it's actually just Steve Buscemi covered in grease.
Yeah, I don't get it, dude. It's just wet all the time.
Super weird.
Yeah, just
gross and creepy, really.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love going there. And then there's just like the psychological side of it all. Places like Eastern State Penitentiary, they already have like a pretty heavy atmosphere even before you factor in the paranormal shit. Like you're walking through a decaying prison that once held thousands of inmates. Like you already have the stories in your head about the isolation, the punishment, all the mental anguish that went on there. So your brain is already primed to expect something fucked up, I guess.
Yeah, right.
And then when you enter an environment expecting something paranormal, like your perception of that place changes. Like small sounds become super significant. Shadows catch your attention more easily, and your mind starts looking for patterns in all of it. So every shadow, every sound, no matter how small, could be rationally explained away. But in a place like Eastern State, it always feels like something more. But who knows? Maybe it is just the architecture. Maybe it is all psychological, or maybe it's ghosts. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think, Sarge?
I mean, it could be anything. And frankly, I don't care if it's actually ghosts or not. I'm still going to be scared. I'm going to go because I really do actually want to see this place.
It's really cool.
But yeah, like it doesn't make a difference at that point. Like some places, like it doesn't matter if they're haunted or not because they're going to scare you no matter what.
Yeah. But it's a really cool building. I like it. I, for one, want to believe it's ghosts. How could it not? Yeah. Like this,
I want it to be ghosts. Like, very much so.
What's crazy is that we do a show about cryptids, conspiracies, aliens, all that stuff. Which, I mean, yeah, whatever. But if I were to put all my eggs into a basket of what I truly believe exists in this world, I go ghosts every time.
Yeah. And Mothman.
Ghosts and aliens. Those are the two things that I can 100%. Well, I can't say that, but that I can say that I believe 100% do exist.
I am certain aliens exist.
Yes.
They may not be the ones we want. They may not be the cool ones, but I think they exist. And I'm nearly certain that Mothman exists because you saw the picture I sent you last night. Unmistakable. I'll post it on my Instagram. Unmistakable.
Unmistakably Mothman. I do.
And that I saw that before I started drinking.
In a bar next to a cemetery that gives you shots with smoke
that come in a coffin.
Yeah, God. Yeah.
Come in a smoking coffin. Amazing bar, by the way. It's a Himalayan place. Can't pronounce the name to save my life. There's like 4 A's in it. But I'll give them a more proper shout out the next time I'm on. But oh my God, the food's amazing. Great atmosphere. But your drinks are smoky. They come in a coffin. And it is directly across from a cemetery. And this is a weird cemetery. I've never seen this before. There's lights. People just put lights on people's graves. Like I would expect that in Halloween, but it's like March, you know?
No, I feel like I've seen that before too. And I might be wrong. And I might just be making this up, but I'm pretty sure some of those are like a religious thing.
It could be, yeah. I don't doubt that for a second. But it was also exceptionally spooky because I walked there. So I'm walking by the cemetery.
Like, what the fuck are all these orbs doing around here?
There's like fog lifting up off the cemetery.
Yeah.
Horrifying.
Oh, I'm sure it's a nightmare.
I loved it. I didn't go in the cemetery, but I loved it.
You should have gone to the cemetery.
No, well, maybe next time.
But yeah, I don't know. Ghosts, definitely, I believe 100%. But like, I feel like ghosts aren't, we'll get into it another time. I'm not going to do it now.
Yeah. It'll be a debate. But I also believe in ghosts and aliens.
It's not a debate. I don't think ghosts are like the souls of a fucking person. Like it's dumb.
Yeah, I don't necessarily believe that either. I think there's like a whole, we should do an episode where we just go over our theories on ghosts. That would be kind of funny, actually. I think.
I do kind of like that idea. We just don't prepare anything and just start going off.
We just start talking about it. Right. Maybe a bonus episode though, because it could go off the rails real fast.
No, we'll just do it straight up for an episode.
We should do it at night on like the night before a Monday holiday so we can just get shit faced.
I vibe with that. I like that idea a lot.
It could be a real long episode or a real short episode, but it'll be a real funny episode no matter what.
It'll be good. All right, sorry. So that's Eastern State, the hauntings, I guess, or not so much the hauntings, but like the stories of the haunt, like what, like
the suspected hauntings, the potential hauntings.
Yeah, and I think that's it. That's all I got.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah,
I want it to be true so bad.
So do I. I do. I believe they're true. That's why I've gone there like 4 times. So.
Yeah, it sounds awesome. I really want to go.
Yeah. All right. So I guess thank you so much for listening, everyone. And if you guys got any stories about Eastern State that you think we should know, send them to crypticcocktail@gmail.com. Maybe we'll do a follow-up with listener stories or experiences or something like that. Yeah. Sarge, you got anything you want to plug before we do the whole wrap up?
No, nothing too crazy. I'll put the picture of Mothman on my Instagram. You tell me what you see.
Okay.
And thank you all again for the love. I appreciate it. I just got a promotion at work, so it's been a celebratory week for me.
Oh, look at that, bud, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Working hard for 4 years.
You're
finally one step above where I was.
You're appreciated in all aspects of your life, bud.
It's been a great week.
I love that for you.
All right. So to the audience, goodbye. And I love you.
We haven't gotten there yet, Sarge.
Son of a bitch.
You know, I take back that post. I'm deleting it.
I thought it was a good segue.
I'm deleting that post now.
I fucked it all up, Dave.
You're no longer appreciated. Real quick. Follow us on Instagram, Cryptic Cocktail. Follow us TikTok, Cryptic Cocktail Party. Leave us a 5-star rating and review. And with that out of the way, Sarge, would you like to say goodbye and I love you to the audience?
Goodbye and I love you.